Don't forget, Sunday, December 6th at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, US and Canada, I am hosting my 2-hour Grand Shift webinar where we will be doing all kinds of activations, attunements, preparations to align with these higher energies flowing through the solar eclipse in Sagittarius, as well as the grand conjunction in Aquarius and solstice. Got a special guest, my friend Nick, who's going to be assisting with all kinds of shamanic healing, incarnation healing, energetic recall, and I'm going to be leading in guided activations for revelation of natural, sacred, spiritual skills, connection to the Oversoul, and multi-lifetime integrations. Replays will be sent to all who register as well. If you'd like to register, you can again go ahead to my website, integrativemysticism.com. There, Cancer, it's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your week of December 7th, 2020. And just a quick reminder, your rising sign horoscope is going to give you further clarity as to how a great deal of your sun sign horoscope is going to show up. And your moon sign horoscope, well, that's going to be giving you the B story, or the side story that is also going on throughout this week. So your main theme of this week is the Devil card in reverse. So there is a great deal of clearing going on. It's almost like a major life detox throughout the course of this week. And while that is absolutely very, very positive, it can sometimes feel very uncomfortable in that transitory period. So make sure that you are allowing yourself to release these things with as much ease and grace as possible. You're going to be finding that a lot of discordant or dysfunctional elements of your life are actually getting put to a bit of their test, as it were. What can they handle just, in the face of maybe health, or the face of perhaps some kind of major change where everything around them is going through a major improvement. With the Devil card reversed, it is all about a purge. And as you've probably heard me say before, if it can't handle a blessing, it might not necessarily need to be there. And you may be finding that certain people, or maybe certain commitments or certain expenses and undertakings are up for elimination during this period. But it's important to keep in mind that sometimes these things get eliminated and we feel like we have unfinished business with them, or that it's happening before we are through with our business, our interaction, or our journey with whatever it is. Not so. When it's done, it's done. Not everything can or should be kept in our lives just so that we can wrap it up with a nice bow of resolution or tie up a loose end. In fact, with the Devil card reversed, you are going to be set free from a lot of ties that bind. No need to pick those ties up off the ground and tie up those loose ends. You can move on. In fact, as we get on to your personal responsibility card, what you want to keep an eye on when it comes to this week, what you are responsible for if you want to have the best week possible, we do have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. And that is all about calling back things that you've put out there, maybe even statements that you've made, commitments that you've made, where you are actually co-creating or holding up a reality experience or many experiences that are actually working either against you or working against what you actually care about, what you actually aspire to, what really has nothing to do with the highest interest of all concerned. Because I am seeing with the Two of Pentacles reversed, a lot of you Cancerian people are getting a chance to really do some serious examination when it comes to what exactly you are allowing to maybe have its way or have its say with what you are doing with your time, your energy, your material wealth, however it's going to apply to you, and making yourself a bit less available to that kind of use, or making yourself more free to do what you want by actually dropping some of the balls you've had up in the air, or maybe not so much dropping them as setting them down, is a huge part of you getting back on your own track and also getting ahead with things that have maybe been falling behind or have been supplanted by things that have been maybe hogging too much of it. As we get on to your material shifts, what's going on with your own personal abundance, your own work, or maybe even a team, your finances, your living situation, you do have the Queen of Swords in reverse. And it does look like there may be some conflict that occurs this week, especially as it relates to maybe somebody who, or maybe not necessarily just one person, but I am seeing some conflict coming in around one who feels entitled to maybe get something at the loss of another. Now, this can sometimes happen when the Queen of Swords reverse shows up, that we have to face a very clear and very obvious challenger, or maybe even aggressor in our space. And with the Queen of Swords reversed, you've heard me say it before, it's important to know that sometimes there is a lesson to be learned in learning how to properly fight her back. And I do feel that that is a big part of the Cancerian lesson here. Whether you're finding that maybe there's something going on or something that you are contributing to either a work organization, a family arrangement, or a household situation that is getting abused, or quite possibly you are noticing that there is an antagonist this week that is going out of their way, possibly due to maybe their own issues. It's not really your job to play psychotherapist for the person who is antagonizing you, by the way, never has been. There may be a need to know when to shut something down before it gets out of control. Some of you may, yes, be even relieving yourselves of certain transactional relationships or contracts with people that are showing themselves to be a bit corrupt or becoming corrupted, and maybe even deciding to block or relieve yourself of a few clients or maybe even work associations that are now showing the colors of where they truly are in their own progress, and we'll just put it that way. You are going to need to be able to draw the line with this, though. This is not a situation where you want to sit back. Certainly don't mimic them or reflect their behavior and go to war. Sometimes the best thing you can do is leave somebody with their own energy and see what happens when it can't be distributed to others. As we get on to your interpersonal relationships, your closest one-on-one connections, friends, relatives, other people in your life, you have the Three of Swords in reverse. And it does look like there is actually, even though this card, is not necessarily the easiest thing to look at, and it is reversed, it does look like there is maybe some kind of relief coming to an ongoing issue within a family situation or a romantic situation that is not completely solved this week, but we are actually stepping into a way where we are agreeing to at least cut off the problem element or to end a problematic cycle. We may not necessarily have the replacement, though, or the creative new beginning for it. And it may kind of feel like we've survived or maybe even transitioned some kind of really difficult or maybe even really regular bit of, I'll just say, conflict or maybe stress or tension. And this could also go on with a friendship, a close friendship. We've actually managed to end the conflict, but we've not necessarily been able to rearrange the relationship or have that new beginning yet. It doesn't mean anything is ending, but there is that sense of creative limbo. Now, I am seeing that this might be something that is important to be able to sit with for a while, because it may come to light that all parties involved don't know how to do the functional thing in one way or another. Let this be a learning process for all inclined and all involved. There may be, yes, some agreements to do some clearing, decluttering, or sacrificing on the parts of all parties, but it is because everyone's determined to make this work. As we get on to your personal shift, well, you have the Tower upright, very much akin to that Devil card reversed. There is a great deal of collapse of a lot of things that we have no business trying to hold up or trying to recreate or build anymore for other people. When the Tower hits, which again, it's a big energy, it's not something you're going to miss, it's important to understand that the Tower is telling you that something is going because it's time to go, even if nobody saw it coming or nobody wanted to believe that to be so. A lot of you are probably going to find that you are not the only one experiencing this week when it comes to your friends, your relatives, your teammates, and things like that. So it's important to make sure that folks kind of not sit back and watch it burn. It's time to realize that, okay, we've tried our best to make something that was really having a hard time going anywhere, get anywhere. We need to be able to get on with the new thing. We need to be able to actually transition now. The Tower card has shown us how far any of these things that are going can actually go and serve us. No point in negotiating, haggling, or bargaining any further. So that is what I've got for you, Cancer. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me or sign up for my webinar, you can go to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.